Welcome and hello. We're just cracking up over here at none other than Mr. Matthews' inappropriate jokes and banter.
Yeah, so we're talking about the famous line from New Jack City. Who knows what line?
Bring it on down.
I don't go down. I only stay up. Hey, hope you guys are doing excellent today. Hope you're having a great evening wherever you are. We're here live a little bit earlier because we come on a little bit earlier. Make sure everybody gets all settled in. When you come through, drop us a comment and let us know where you're watching from while I adjust my pocket square here.
I don't see it.
You don't see it where? In the group?
I don't see us in the group. Yeah. I see like all of these event things.
I click on it and see what happens.
Okay. And what was this?
Green and I went there. Click on it so we can make
sure. You guys went live earlier? Okay, so start live video. What is this? Okay, that's asking me to start a live video. Are we supposed to start it in that event?
Rain, can you come and take a look on here? Because we're trying to figure out why it's not.
Yeah, I don't see us in the group live. I see the event thing a bunch of times. So,
Okay, and I'll set up here. So, it's just a live video should start soon.
Okay. But, and it's supposed to go through here into the group.
Yeah, so while Rain's getting that set up here, we're going to be talking with you guys.
Yes. So as you're coming in, I don't know if we're even streaming to anybody that can see us or if we're in the wrong area, but we'll get it figured out. And
I just turned the group on in there, so we should be live in the group now.
Okay, so let's give it a shot here. Let's go into the group and see. Okay, there we are. Now that we've figured out where we are and coming to you, now we can tell you about Mr. Matthews' inappropriate words that we were cracking up about that I don't even know if you saw because I don't know if it was working yet.
Yes. So we're talking about our famous line from New Jack City. When more people come on, and we'll talk about that. So.
All right. So we're coming in. We're going to be getting started at 7 p.m. Eastern for day 4 of our Wealth Building Challenge. Hey, Jamie.
It's almost there. We got one more day. We got today
and
then
one more day. You guys, it's going by so fast.
One more day. No, that's one more night. What did you say? One more night. Just love me one more time.
Okay.
Isn't that what he says?
I don't know.
I think that's how the lyrics go.
Who sings it?
See you guys having dinner in a movie.
Oh,
or dinner in a show or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's
we'll be performing all week.
I think that's Lionel Richie.
I think it is.
One more night. Tammy, is that Lionel Richie?
He's a smooth operator.
Do you know who that is? One more night.
I think it is.
I think that is Lionel Richie.
Jamie's cracking up. So as you guys are coming in, let us know where you are tuning in from. And is there a link that they can share tonight?
No, there's not a link there.
Okay, so we'll put a link after the stream that you can share this because we are in a private group, so you can't share it. But you can enjoy the value and you can invite people to the group and you can share. We'll give you a link after that we can share. Okay, so as you're coming in, I would love to hear some of your wins and takeaways throughout the week of the challenge.
Rhonda said, yes, it is.
Oh, awesome. You want to tell them about the Facebook user?
So you see it on the screen. It says, if you're watching this, you'll see it says Facebook user on the screen. So click on StreamYard.com/Facebook. Rain, can you drop the link in there? StreamYard.com/Facebook. Just click on that and it will allow permission so that we can be able to see your profile on your face. What are you doing over there?
Well, I have these little like things on my shirt, so I can't resist.
So click on this link here if you're watching through in the group, and you'll be able to show your sugar on there. So today we're going to talk about build wealth for day 4.
Yes.
We're going to get started right at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Mr. Jay Hemphill's over there.
And
What's up,
yesterday we talked about ensuring the financial survival of your family, your personal finances, your business.
Your baby mama, your girlfriend, your side chick.
Yeah, we talked all
your sugar
about
baby, your sugar daddy.
Proper protection, not raincoats.
So talk about how you get it all protected. And then let us know, what did you learn yesterday? For those of you who were on here yesterday, what did you learn? We covered proper protection. What did you learn? What were some of your takeaways from yesterday?
When it comes to term life insurance, what is the one thing you want this policy to have?
Not the sugar baby. Don't insure your sugar baby.
I mean, you could.
But you should insure your sugar daddy. That way you can make sure your sugar daddy can keep paying you when he kicks the bucket. See, I'm giving you solutions for life. Modern problems require modern solutions. If you are a sugar baby and you are dependent upon your sugar daddy, make sure your sugar daddy has some life insurance, and you are the beneficiary.
If the sugar baby gets critically or chronically sick, they may not be able to, exchange properly, whatever their arrangement is. And they may need some insurance on that.
Gotta give the sugar to get the sugar. That's right.
So
people talk about living benefits. That was key. Living benefits important.
Living benefit. That's right. We made, bless you. We brought the sexy back to life insurance, and we talked about all the really cool, fun, exciting things that you could do with it. How it can help you build wealth, but we're going to get more into building wealth today. For day 4, we're going to talk about all of the ways, well, not every single way, but many ways that you can build wealth, the importance of it, and what you could do to take the next step to build the kind of wealth that you dream of.
So Jay says he's a cub looking for his cougar. Good luck, Jay.
When I started dating Martin, one of my
friends.
She's
my cougar.
Yeah, I'm 4 years older than Martin. And when I started dating him, one of my friends, I told him that Martin was younger than me. He goes, "Oh, yeah, you're a cougar." My own friend called me a cougar. Yeah. Can you believe it? Good Lord. So we're about to get started in just a few minutes. So remember to let us know where you're watching from and any of your takeaways that you have had, actions that you've taken to implement anything, the things that you've learned in the Wealth Building Challenge to strengthen your financial house. And I've been loving seeing your guys' challenges and your posts and your videos. And I love seeing you guys take action and pushing past your comfort zone and taking action, and those are the things that are going to actually help you reach your financial goals, because you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results, right? That's the definition of insanity.
Yeah.
Don't be insane in the membrane. So, what are you over here, just chit-chatting?
No.
Are you talking to your sugar baby?
No. I'm trying to grow my business, not fund the sugar baby's lifestyle.
Yeah, okay, good.
I'm messaging Rain to make sure some of the things are all on there. So Maggie Foster said, just posted a video and commented on the page. That's right, nothing changes and nothing changed. So so far we've covered cash flow, debt management, reserves, and proper protection. Tonight we're going to cover build wealth. Tomorrow we're going to wrap it up with build legacy. We're going to do a $100 giveaway tonight, so you got to stay tuned to the end to see if you won, if you are a winner. And in order to be entered, all you had to do was request a free life insurance quote from us.
If you were actually interested in life insurance.
If you actually have an interest in it, or you want a comparison of what you have.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that we can help you have the best plan for yourself and your family. So
absolutely.
So look, and one thing we actually didn't even touch on last night was having life insurance on your parents. So
You
mine,
create your own inheritance.
yeah, you can actually create your own inheritance, man. Because
Yeah.
so look, my grandfather had 24 children. He was a busy guy in the bedroom and probably lots of other places. But he was a busy guy. He had 24 children. When he died, he left 3 women pregnant at the same time. Three.
Were they sugar babies?
I had 2 uncles and 1 aunt. I didn't see it. I don't think they were sugar babies. He was just a smooth operator. He was a handsome guy, smooth operator. He did not even live to be 40 years old, and he had 24 children. So the running joke,
that many kids will kill you.
the running joke in our family is that God had to take him. God had to take him,
Before he overpopulated the planet.
Dude, he was on his way. 24 children, yeah. And then it started running out of names. So my grandfather's name is Jehu, Jehu, and so we have Uncle Jehu and Auntie Jehu. So we have Jehu Nita. So we just call her Auntie Jehu, and we have Uncle Jehu. And so, you know, when you start having a lot of kids, you start running out of names, and that's what happened with my dad. So, but I mean, that's what happened with my grandfather. So my grandfather had 24 kids. My dad had 10 kids, and so I come from a big family. And so when my father passed away, my grandfather passed away, he didn't leave an inheritance. And same thing with my father, he didn't leave like a financial inheritance to us. He left us a good name, but he didn't leave a financial inheritance to us. So we went and got life insurance with my mom. So that would create an inheritance for me. And so that would allow her to be able to transfer financial assets to me that she doesn't presently have. Like she doesn't have the amount of money physically to give to me like I could through a life insurance policy. So we have a life insurance with my mom. The policy also has living benefits. So if she got critically or chronically sick, she can receive some money from that policy. And so that goes to be able to help her in lots of different ways. We set this up. We have one of our family that's a client of ours. We help the whole family get set up with policies, and they create a pool of money of around 15 million, something like that. And they got life insurance on the dad, the mom, the sibling, the ex-wife, the current wife, all that. They all got, you know, the kids got life insurance on the dad and all that. So they got this whole pool of money that's created using that as a strategy that will actually allow their family to be financially set for generations. And they will use that capital to create.
Did you want to go?
Oh yeah, we're gonna go live on Instagram. They will use that capital to create even more assets. They're going to buy real estate. They're going to buy businesses. They're going to do lots of different things with it. So it's a very, very important tool to understand and how you can use it in different ways.
So Jamie says, my mom doesn't have a life insurance, but she does have a business that is supposed to be left to me and my brothers. So that's a conversation you could have with your mom about, you know, looking at putting a policy in place. Because for one, if she has a business, life insurance is important for business owners to have as well. Because if something happened to her, if she got sick or hurt and it affected her ability to run the business, then that could help to cover medical expenses. It could help to cover running the business, or even if she had to, whatever role that she does in the business now, if she needed to find somebody else to take that role. Yeah. So that's something very important. And also, sometimes children will all like put together and they will put a policy on their parents, and it will provide a inheritance for them.
What kind of business is it? Let us know what kind of business it is, because if your mom was no longer in the picture, who would continue to run the business? Would it run without her? Things like that. And then start with asking that.
And for grandkids too.
What's the type of business it is? All right, so almost 7:00. We're going to go and kick off, just about ready to kick off day 4 of our wealth building challenge. For those of you guys on Instagram, you can register at 6buildingblocks.com/challenge. Throughout the challenge, we're giving away $1,000 cash, and you get worksheets and a digital copy of our book, Let's Fight About Money.
And it is 7 p.m. Eastern on the dot. Welcome to our wealth building challenge, day number 4, where we're talking about build wealth. You guys definitely want to tune in. You definitely want to stay until the end. We have a $100 winner that we're going to announce at the end. So be sure that you stay tuned. If you don't already know who we are, if you're just joining us or new to the challenge, we are Martin and Chelsea Matthews. We're married. We're in business together. We have a financial services and life insurance agency with a combined 21 years of experience, if you can believe it. My God. And
she's my sugar mama. And she's my sugar mama.
we are also authors of this book, Let's Fight About Money, helping couples communicate about money, handle conflict, and build an unbreakable financial house. And when you signed up for the challenge, you received a free digital copy of this book. So if you haven't signed up yet, you can go to 6buildingblocks.com/challenge and sign up. You'll get workbooks. And if you got your workbooks today, you definitely want to pull them out. You definitely want to take notes, because this is going to be a great one. Build Wealth is one of the most fun building blocks, because this is what helps us to really create our ideal life, to really see what we are capable of. And when we talk about building an unbreakable financial house, which is what we are delivering to you in this wealth building challenge, it means that your finances are unbreakable, unshakable. You can handle anything that comes your way, no matter what happens. And beyond that, because we don't just want to be able to pay our bills and handle things financially, right? We want to have like the life that we truly want to live and make the impact that we truly want to make. And that's what you can do when you build an unbreakable financial house. And to do that, you got to know what the 6 building blocks are that make up your financial house. And you got to strengthen each one of them. And then you can really build an unbreakable financial house. So today we're going to deliver to you having to do with building wealth, because you're going to have a clear understanding of wealth and how to create it, as well as you're going to learn the 3 biggest enemies to building wealth and exactly how to defeat them, so you can have greater certainty in your financial house. Now, here's some things that people say when it comes to building wealth, and I want you to think about, always be thinking about, where are you in your mindset and your beliefs and your actions, your habits, and how can you take the next step? How can you get closer to your financial goals? How can you get rid of the negative thoughts and keep the positive thoughts, right? Okay, so some people say when it comes to building wealth, they're afraid of taking risk. And you know, you've probably heard the saying, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward, right? Well, is that really true? We'll get into it. Also, some people say, I don't know who to trust. Some other people say, I'm concerned about the ups and downs of the market. And we'll talk about that as well. All of these things we're going to talk about. Some people say, not sure if they'll have enough to retire. Some people say, not even sure how much I need. And then some people say they don't even know why they have what they have. Like maybe you have a retirement account with work and they're like, I don't know why I have it or what it's supposed to do or what I'm supposed to do with it. So we're going to address all of those things, okay?
And we like engagement. So if you guys have questions, comments, everything, drop them. Drop your comments, drop your questions. We'll go through and answer them along the way. If we say something that you want clarification on, let us know, and follow along in your workbooks so that you can be able to fill in some of the blanks and have all of those worksheets all put together at the end of the challenge, and you'll have a complete workbook that talks about all of those 6 building blocks.
Yeah, so pull out your workbook now. It looks like this, day 4, Build Wealth. If you don't have your workbook, just pull some paper and a pen or something to take notes, because you definitely want to take notes. And like Martin said, put your questions in there. We'll do our best to answer them while we're live. If we don't get to them while we're live, we'll get to them after. And Jamie says, that's me. I'm afraid of taking risks. Yeah, let me tell you, I don't like risks. I don't like losing money, but I do like, what'd you say?
I was saying something inappropriate.
Of course. Are you is it repeatable or no?
No, I was going to say, pull something out. Just don't pull that thing out.
Okay, yes, Sicko. That's for after hours. All right, so bring out your workbook. We're going to go over some definitions, because I want to be sure that you understand fully what we're talking about when we talk about build wealth, right? Because we could talk until we're blue in the face, but if we're not on the same page of what it actually means or the way that we're using it, then it's not going to properly apply to you. You're not going to be able to implement it. Okay, so we have some definitions for you, okay? Wealth is an abundance. The definition of wealth is an abundance of valuable material possessions or resources. It originally meant a healthy and prosperous state. So wealth, it doesn't just only mean like money, right? It means like prosperous in all areas. You may hear people talk about your health and your wealth, right? They go hand in hand. So being healthy and wealthy, like abundance in all areas of life. So get to thinking about abundance when it comes to not just money, but your skills, your value, all of these things, your quality of life. And mindset is the next definition, a mental attitude or inclination. Okay, this is a state of mind. And if you don't quite have the right mindset yet, like, oh, you got to work really hard to think with abundance and think positively. Like I used to be there and I had to just practice and practice and practice. Every time I had a negative thought, like, oh my God, what if I don't make enough? Oh my God, what if this doesn't happen? Oh my God, what if I don't? And you have to start catching yourself. As soon as you think something negative, I say cancel. And then I say it in the positive way. Like one thing that I started saying, because I would get bills in the mail and I hated it. And so instead of looking for bills, because I'd go, oh, I hate these bills, right? I always get bills. So I started saying, checks in the mail, checks in the mail. Every day I get checks in the mail. So anytime I would think about a bill, or even I would look at it and I would say, no, checks in the mail, checks in the mail. Every day I get checks in the mail. Another one I say is money comes easily and often in large amounts. Money comes easily and often in large amounts. Anytime I feel stressed about money or anything negative, I just say money comes easily and often in large amounts. So you have to start almost like programming yourself until it becomes just your natural state of thinking. So you got to practice, just like if you work out at the gym, you can't just do it one time. You got to go over and over, repeat it. Okay, so, all right, so next on your worksheet, it says limiting beliefs blank. Okay, so you're going to fill out limiting beliefs out and abundant beliefs in. Okay, get that crap out of there and replace it with good stuff. Replace it with encouraging, positive, motivating, right? And write down, if these don't naturally come to you, write some down. Copy the ones I just told you. Think about what you want to create in your life, and you have to start thinking about it before you can actually create it or see it happening. Okay, the next one is never blank. Never shrink your ability or desire to build wealth. This is huge. Never shrink your ability or desire to build wealth. Okay, because here's what's happened. Here's what happens. Kids, when they're young, they're like so free and they could be anything and they want to be a dinosaur or a superhero. They don't care. They believe they can be anything they want. They can have anything they want. And then what happens? They get a little bit older and they hear no from their parents or no from the teacher, or they get a job and they hear no from their boss, or they hear no from this person. And like, well, just think reasonably. Oh, you don't need all of that. You got to be realistic. All of these things start weighing people down and they start shrinking and they start convincing themselves, maybe I don't really need that. Maybe I'm not able to do that. Maybe I'm not capable. Maybe I'm just thinking too big or unrealistic. No, never shrink your ability or desire to build wealth. You have to expand, right? If you're not growing, you're dying. So expand, you're growing, you're expanding, you want to flourish and prosper. So anytime you feel yourself shrinking or think I can't, or what if that doesn't work, you cancel it out and you say, no, I'm going to go for that and I'm going to get it. In fact, it's already done.
Like, shrinkage is not good.
Yeah, just remember that. Say no to shrinkage.
Say no to shrinkage.
And anytime that I feel like when I'm setting goals, I say them as they're already done. Like one of them is I'm in my best health and fitness shape. Not I'm getting in my best health and fitness shape. I am in my best health and fitness shape. So you got to say it and think about it if it's already done. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next piece of your worksheet. This is where we're going to define build wealth, because this is building block number 5, and I want to make sure that we have a clear understanding of what we are talking about. Were you going to say something?
No. Ready for me?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Huh?
Ready for me? Or you say that part, or I do?
I got a little bit more.
Okay.
Almost. You got like a way along. You got all the fun stuff. I'm just like the fluffer. I'm like the warm up. I like the hype. I'm the hype
man.
Hype girl.
Hype girl.
and then he hits you with his like genius expertise. Okay, so build wealth defined. Okay, so there's 2 definitions here. It's in your workbook. It's already printed out. Number 1, and these are a little wordy, but stay with me, okay? Number 1, to form by ordering and uniting materials by gradual means into a whole. Okay, I know it's a lot of words and it sounds kind of crazy. To form by ordering and uniting materials by gradual means into a whole. Okay, listen. To form by ordering. So there's an order in your financial house. There's 6 building blocks, right? There's an order that we talk to them about. There's an order to put things in place. To form by ordering and uniting materials. So we have the 6 building blocks, and there's specific tools that you use to strengthen each one of those building blocks. Okay? So to form by ordering and uniting materials by gradual means. So it's like on a gradient step. So there's always another level. Like no matter how strong your financial house is, it can always be stronger. So gradual, you're not just going to all of a sudden have an unbreakable financial house. No, you got to take steps gradually. You got to increase your knowledge. You got to take some more responsibility. You got to have some control, right? So it's gradual into a whole, your whole financial house. You want to increase and flourish and prosper in all areas. Okay, and then number 2 is to cause to be constructed. It's not on here, but I want to add. So to cause to be constructed, you are the cause. You're taking responsibility for building your financial house. Yep. And the part that's not on there is to engage in building, because it's not like you just build it and it's done. No, you are engaging. You are taking action and responsibility, and you are building, because it's a continual process.
Speak on it, sister.
I had like an early life crisis, because when I was younger, like in my 30s, I thought that at a certain point in life, you had life figured out and everything just kind of like fell into place, and you had the white picket fence, and it was all, you just lived life then, right? And then I figured out, no, it's a constant thing. You're growing, you're learning, you're having mistakes, and you learn from them. And I was like, shit, man, that sucks. Like, you got to keep working and growing, and it's like hard work. And so I kind of like was a little depressed for a little bit, like, God, I thought you could just figure it out and like enjoy life. But no, it's always continually growing, engaging, working. And that's how you know you're alive. And that is how you have fun, actually, because when you move into the challenges, then you're actually playing life as a game. And really, life is a game. We want to look at it as a game because it's more fun to play as a game. And you have to play. You got to get in the game. You can't just sit on the sidelines, right? So when you play a game, I want to encourage you to look at all of this as a game. And how can you win the game? Well, you got to know that you're playing a game first, right? And then you've got to understand there are freedoms, barriers, and purposes in a game. And you got to know what those are. You got to know what are the purposes that you're even playing the game. Like, what do you want out of it? You got to make a commitment to play the game. You've got to know what the rules are. You've got to know who your enemies are, and you got to know how to win. Okay, so one of the things that we're going to first talk about before we even go into the types of ways to build wealth is we're going to talk about the 3 enemies to your wealth. because these are key. They can destroy your wealth. And so you got to understand what these are and how to protect yourself from them. And Mr. Matthews is going to tell you all about these 3 enemies so you can protect yourself.
Okay, very dramatic. She wanted to be an actress when she was growing up, and she's very dramatic with it. Good job, sweetheart.
Dramatic?
Good job.
Me?
Good job. So look, whenever you're trying to achieve something in life, there's part of the game is there's going to be some opposition. If you ever watch a sports game and then one side is just completely beating the other side, it's not so much fun to watch. You're like, dude, this is terrible, and you don't want to watch it anymore. So there's some opposition, right? And overcoming these opposition, overcoming these things in your way are part of the fun of the game. You actually feel more alive and better when you're overcoming things, when you're handling things, when you're handling obstacles and you're learning new things and you're applying it and you're producing stuff and you're getting a result, right? That's what makes life so exciting. If everything was just laid out in front of you all day, there's no opposition to anything and all that kind of stuff, eventually you'll get bored, you'll get tired, it wouldn't be worth it, and you would just like sink down. You're like, it's not even fun anymore, this whole life thing. So it's why certain times people who don't have problems in life think that they get into trouble because they don't have enough things keeping their attention, right? So the problem is, the problem is people think problems are a problem. Problems are not a problem. Problems are an opportunity. Problems are opportunities is how you got to look at it. So when it comes to building wealth, you have tremendous amount of opportunities. And then in this game of building wealth, there's going to be some obstacles in your way. Okay, the government's going to want to try to take some of it. All kinds of different stuff is going to go along with that. So how you handle it and deal with it, it actually leads to a lot of your rewards. So the first thing is 3 biggest enemies of your wealth. First thing I want to ask you is, what do you think is your biggest expense? I want you to drop in the comments. What do you think is your biggest expense? I'm going to give you guys maybe 20, 30 seconds because there's a little lag from when I say it to when you guys can respond on there. But what do you think is your biggest expense that you have? It could be in your household. It could be in your business. What do you think is your biggest expense? Somebody says they're a kid. Kids are responsibilities. They ain't cheap, man, I tell you. When they become teenagers, they eat a lot, too.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Any clothes, any shoes right now?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a big one. What do you think is your biggest expense? On Instagram, once you drop in the comments, what do you guys think is your biggest expense? Groceries and eating out, biggest expense.
Mortgage, home,
rent, all of those. Great answers, right?
Close but no cigar.
Housing, all very, very important but big expenses. Now, let me tell you what your real big expense is. This is actually an interesting question. The interesting question is because
it's a hidden.
It's there, but people just become used to it that it doesn't seem that way. Your biggest
enjoying dinner out with a husband. Now, who spends more? Who's a more expensive orderer?
That's definitely
the spender.
I'm fancy, man.
He is a food
Chelsea's not
diva.
an expensive. Chelsea is not an expensive
I'm a cheap
date.
date. He is a food diva. Let me tell you.
I like the nice stuff. If it's that good,
you want to share something?
No, I'm trying to share with her. No, I like my own stuff. I order it. She likes to mix up her food. I like my food.
Mix it all
I keep my food
up.
separate. I don't like it all mixed up together. I like it to all look pretty and nice and all that. So she is right. I'm kind of like a food. I just like what I like.
Oh, you admit it now?
No, I'm not really a food diva. I just like it a certain way.
Are.
So back to what your biggest expense is. Somebody got it right here. So
all right.
Your biggest expense that you, me, everybody in America's got is taxes. That's your biggest expense.
Did you put it up there?
No, I didn't put it up there yet.
Oh, I thought you were going to give the big reveal.
Oh, okay, big reveal. Taxes.
Taxes!
So your number one expense is taxes.
Good job, Jamie.
And you get so used to it that you don't think it's an expense because most people don't actually sit down and calculate the dollar amount that they're paying taxes. Some of it's hidden. Some of it is straight up come out of your paycheck. Some of it straight up come out of your you got to send the government a check. So when you got a business, or if you're an independent contractor, however you do that, sometimes they don't take taxes out of your check. But then you got to file taxes, and then you got to send the government the money. That's always fun when you got to send the government.
But they charge you taxes just to have employees.
Yeah. So there's if you want to hire people, you got to pay. There's taxes you got to pay. All these kinds of different things that you have to do in terms of taxes. And then when you go to buy stuff, they tax you. All kinds of different ways they tax you in different things. And the reality is, in 1913, they created the Internal Revenue Service, and so you now had to pay taxes on your money. And they started requiring people to take taxes out of the paycheck. They used to be, at first, you weren't taking taxes out of the paychecks, and then people started falling behind, so they had to pass an amendment that would start taking taxes out of your paycheck, pass a rule or law or whatever to pass, to start taking taxes out of your damn paycheck. Okay, so now to take it out before you even because they don't trust you. Okay, the government doesn't trust you, so they take it out of your paycheck. And then when you finally, when you finally get to a certain point where you have paid a lot into it, you file your taxes, and then they give you a refund. And when I first came to America, somebody said a refund is money that the government gives to you. Okay, actually, if you define the word refund, you understand it's not just money the government is giving to you. What is a refund? When you go to a store, what is a refund?
If you take something back.
Well, it's a refund because you spent money and now they're giving you that money back. Mm-hmm. It's your money you're getting back. That's what a refund is.
Means you
overpaid. When you get your tax refund, it means you have overpaid for something, and now they're giving you some of that money.
And what kind of interest rate do they give you for saying thank you for giving us this extra money?
They don't give you any. They don't give you any of that.
What?
So it's not free money from the government. It is money that you have overpaid, and now they're giving back to you.
Yeah.
So biggest enemy of your wealth: taxes. Mm-hmm. What is this? The number two, another enemy of your wealth. So you can flip over.
Next page.
Look, I won't get into taxes so much today. We're going to do a webinar specifically focused on a subject called how to become your own bank. We're going to do that in about 2 weeks. And we're going to dive into taxes and some of the history of taxes, where taxes are going, from where it is now, where it's going, and some of the things you can do to actually create a tax-free income. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, but we're going to dive deeper in that on that webinar as well. If you flip over, number two, the second enemy of your wealth is inflation. So for years, we've been saying this, talking about taxes, inflation, and inflation wasn't as real to people as it is this year because you have a massive inflation rate. Mm-hmm. Well, inflation doesn't just happen out of nowhere. Inflation is when you inflate something, you make it larger. That's what inflation means, to make something larger. So what got larger? Well, a couple of things got larger. One, your government printed more money. So the money supply got larger. And so when the money supply gets larger, inflation goes up. The price of things goes up. And when the price of things go up, you need more money to buy the same amount of stuff, right? So that's why the price of things goes up. So regardless how you look at it, you have to make more money. That's why we talk about cash flow on day one. Beyond that, when it comes to inflation, whatever you do with your money and wherever you put your money to build wealth, it has to grow beyond the rate of inflation. So if inflation is 3%, 4%, 5%, wherever your money is at, you have to grow beyond inflation. Hey, Ellery, what's up, brother? So you have to grow beyond inflation. Well, if you look at where most people keep a lot of their money in the banks aren't paying you. The banks aren't paying you, beyond inflation. The banks aren't paying you. The banks aren't paying you barely 1%. So that means when money is sitting in the bank is losing value, your cash is turning into trash in the bank because it's losing value. So you have to put it to work in order for it to expand and grow just to keep up with the cost of goods and services. inflation affects you in so many different ways and is a tax on people. When your government prints more money, inflates the money supply, as a result, prices of goods have to come up. That's just how it works economically. You have more pieces of paper around, prices have to come up to match the pieces of paper. Also, your government increased the debt on you because they print money, so they increase the amount of government debt that you have. So the way government raises money is to print money and also raise taxes. So the question I ask you back to the first one is, since they inflated the money supply and things are going up and they increase the debt, do you think taxes are going to go down or do you think taxes are going to go up? That's a question you have to ask for yourself.
I would like them to go down.
So if taxes are going to go up, you gotta position yourself to make sure that you don't pay higher taxes in the future. And that's one of the games of building wealth, is how do I navigate the amount of taxes I have to pay, the handle inflation, have money growing past inflation, and then the third enemy of your wealth is market risk. We call that TIM, taxes, inflation, market risk.
Tim's a dick.
Tim is a dick. TIM.
Oh, and this is higher, by the way. It's not showing in the group.
Okay.
Like what is in the group.
Okay.
And
and reduces the value of the dollar. Yes.
You know,
one
thing that our accountant, I told our accountant, because that like child tax credit that they like deposit into your account. And I said, I'm just putting it aside because I know I'm going to have to pay it back because we're business owners. So we're not paying throughout the year our personal taxes. And he said, that I'm the first person that said that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's look, guys, you got to understand that's the game here, and there's rules to this game. Taxes, inflation,
let's win.
Market risk is where somebody invests their money in this, whether it's a stock market or whatever market they're investing in, and they don't understand what the hell they're doing, and so they become subject to the manipulation of the market. So people can manipulate things in the market, and then you could be on a losing end of that. So you got to understand when you're investing or wherever you're putting your money, you have to understand how that thing works so that you can make it work for you. An example of market risk is this. Let me give you a scenario. If I had $1,000, right? I got $1,000 and I lost 50%, right? I went down 50%. Now I got $500. The next year I went up 50%. I went down 50% and I went up 50%. How much money would I have? Am I back to even? Do I have my money back? I went down 50% and I went back up 50% the next year. Do I have, how much money would you think I have? So I'll let you guys drop down in the comment. If you went down, you got $1,000, you lost 50%, and then in 1 year, the next year you went up 50%, went back up 50%, how much money would you have? That's right. You're not back to even. You have $750. So you went down 50%, went back up 50%. You're still down. You still have not recovered your money. So it's important whenever you're building wealth to not lose money. Don't lose your money. Warren Buffett's #1 rule of investing is don't lose your money. Right. So you would end up with far less because of that next part where it says important on the bottom of that page. Important. When you lose $1, right? You not only lose that dollar, you lose in the blank, in the space there, what that dollar could have earned for you, right? So let's say I got this $100 here, right? If this $100 would have earned me $20 more, I would have ended up with 120. See that? This $100 here went to work for me and brought me $20 more. Let's say I lose this $100. I not only lose this $100, I lose the 20 that would have come along with it if I didn't lose this $100 in the first place. Very, very important to understand. That's why you don't lose this 100, because this 100 goes to bring more for you. It goes to make more. It goes out and multiplies. It goes out and be fruitful and multiply. So when you lose money, you not only lose that money, you don't only lose that dollar, you lose what that dollar would have earned for you had you not lost it in the first place. Very important money rule to remember. So 3 enemies of your wealth, 3 biggest enemies of your wealth: taxes, inflation, and market losses. Market losses, market manipulation. If you don't understand what you're doing and you're subject to all of that, those are the 3 enemies. We call them lovingly Tim. T-I-M. Tim is a pain in the ass. Tim is a pain in the ass. So, any questions on any of that so
Sorry
far?
for anyone named Tim.
If you have any questions on that, drop them in the comments on those. Our next thing we're going to go and talk about is different investment vehicles. What are the different types of investment vehicles? When you're trying to build wealth, you got to understand what are the vehicles you're going to use to build wealth. Now, you can build wealth through building a business. So I can go start a business, make the business successful, and make that business valuable. I can sell it. I can exit the business, have somebody else run it. I can do lots of different things, but I build it up, right? Or I can work. I can put that money aside. I can store some of that capital that I make from producing what I call the active income, and I can put it into different financial vehicles. And then those financial vehicles can continue to build and grow. So what are some of those different vehicles that you can use? So when it comes to where most people in America have their money, pimping, yeah.
Is that a building wealth strategy?
That's a building wealth strategy. Pimping is a strategy to build wealth.
But we're talking about legal and ethical.
It is a high risk strategy to build wealth. Pimping is a high risk strategy to build wealth. You gotta have some control. You gotta understand how to get people to go do all kinds of crazy things for you and bring you the money. There's a certain level of skill that most people do not have. They do not possess that skill set. And I don't know if there is Pimp 101 class in university. If you can go to college and learn how to be a pimp, maybe you can.
I bet there's some courses on YouTube.
There's some courses. That's probably some YouTube courses
Pimp
on
101.
how to become a pimp, how to become a pimp and retire with ongoing cash flow. Oh man, please bear with me, guys. I go off the rails sometimes with stuff. I like to have fun with some of this stuff, and I see a lot of things that are inappropriate. So Chelsea tries to keep me in line. She tries.
Doesn't always succeed.
So it can't be learned.
It's a tough life. Pimping ain't easy, and neither is keeping him appropriate.
Yeah. So types of investment vehicles. We're on this page. Types of investment vehicles. We're gonna go over it and talk about that. Number one, vehicles people use. That a lot of them use. Number one thing they use a lot is their 401k. So a lot of people have money in their 401ks. 401k is a type of retirement account. When you work at a job, they offer you a plan. You put your money inside of the plan. Usually, the 401k really is not an investment. The 401k is a bucket. It's a bucket of crap. I'm just kidding. It's a bucket, right? And you have investments inside of this bucket. Think of it like a shopping cart, right? You choose what to put inside of the shopping cart. Some people put good things in there, some people put crap in there. That's it, right? So most of the time people have mutual funds inside of their 401ks. And so your mutual funds can go up, they can go down, and that's how that works. But a lot of people have 401ks. But when you work with that job, you can get a 401k. And then typically when you leave the job or you can start on your own, you have something in the next line where we call a
bucket of crap.
Bucket of crack.
No crap.
A bucket of crack is worth more than a bucket of crap.
Another business strategy.
That is another business strategy.
But not recommended. See, we think we
crack is whack.
That's not a good exchange.
Yeah.
We want to improve the conditions of the community. We want to improve our quality of life, not end our life for others.
Yeah. So you got the next line over there is you said there's something called an IRA, stands for individual retirement account. So it works similarly to a 401k. Here's how some of this stuff works. With a 401k, you put your money into the 401k before you've paid any taxes on it. So it can reduce your taxes in that year. However, at some point in the future, whatever you put in plus the growth of that money, when you take the money out, you'll have to pay taxes on the whole thing. So here's an example. If I put in $25,000 into my 401k and that $25,000 turned into $50,000 or $75,000 or $100,000, I didn't pay taxes on the $25,000, but I'm going to pay taxes on the $100,000. The entire bucket of money. So I'm going to pay taxes not just on the money I put in that I didn't pay taxes on. I'm going to pay taxes on the growth of it. And here's the thing. I don't know how much the taxes are going to be. You know why? Because I don't know what the government is going to do, how much the government is going to tax me in the future. I know my taxes are going to go up, but I don't know how much they're going to tax me in the future. So you got to understand when you're using these vehicles, you have to understand how they work. Now, if you're employed and you get a match, which means you put in some money, your employer puts in some money. I think it's fine to use a 401k because they're matching you and you're getting something for what you're putting in there, right? But anything above the match, you can look at other vehicles you can put it in, so you offset one of the enemies of your wealth, which is taxes. You can put money into things that you can take out later tax free. One of them is something on the third line. So first line was 401k, next line is IRA, so individual retirement account. Third line is something called a Roth. Roth IRA, Roth RIA, ROTH, Roth IRA. It's called a Roth because it was named after a guy named Senator William Roth, who proposed a bill that allows you to put some money into a type of individual retirement account after taxes, and you can take the money out tax-free, provided that you've had it for at least 5 years and you over 59 and a half. So look, if I'm 25 years old and I start a Roth, I cannot access the growth of that money tax-free until I'm 59 and a half. And I've had it for at least 5 years. So understand that you can use a Roth, and is a cool vehicle to have if you understand what the rules are. All these things have rules. Just understand what the rules are on them. You can even, if your kids have income, they can also set up a Roth. If they have income, they can put that in there, and it can be tax free. You can also pay your kids. If you can hire kids and pay them, and it can reduce your taxable income if you have a business, or if you hire them for certain tasks. You can pay them, and it can help to reduce your taxes.
If I knew sign language, I could be your signer.
Oh, you can just be signing. Just sign gibberish. A lot of people who do sign language on the news do that, apparently. Apparently, that's a thing to start randomly signing random stuff. So anyway, so 401k, IRA, Roth. On the next line below that, another vehicle that you can use, it's not an investment, but you can store money inside of it, is permanent life insurance policies. Permanent life insurance policies. They can be used in lots of different ways. We talked about some of these last night. You can design a high cash value life insurance policy where money is stored in a policy, and you can leverage it to buy other investments.
That's the kind of high you want.
Yeah, that's the kind of high you want. You want a high cash value life insurance policy.
Yeah.
So life insurance does a lot of different things. Look, life insurance existed before 1913 when IRS was created and it started taxing you. So life insurance has maintained some favorable tax advantages as it relates to the tax code. One reason is, look, nobody wants to say, the government incentivizes you to buy life insurance by allowing it to be tax-free. You can access the cash tax-free. When you die, the money goes to your family tax-free. So that's an incentive so you can buy life insurance. Why does the government incentivize you to buy life insurance? Because the government does not want a widow and 3 kids to go on government assistance. So they say, daddy should buy life insurance. If daddy buys life insurance, the money will go to his family tax-free, okay? So then life insurance evolved to where you can do all kinds of different things with it now, but it has certain tax advantages. One of them is that you can create tax-free income. I was explaining this to somebody. One vehicle that we use can actually create lifetime cash flow. What does that mean? You can get a check every month for the rest of your life, even if you live beyond 100 years old. You get a check every month coming in, and it would be tax-free. While you're living, not after you're dead. While you're living, you have a certain type of life insurance policy that can pay you and do that for you. And there's one that would give you like a.
Did you just say ant?
And A&D, woman. So, one of them will pay you 8% cash flow. So let me pause for a second and explain why this is important when it comes to building wealth. Cash flow is extremely important to your wealth, to your financial freedom. Now, why do I say 8% is extremely important when it comes to how much cash flow it's produced? Because when it comes to retirement, most financial advisors tell you, whatever amount of money you have for retirement, you should not take out more than 4% per year, especially during your first year, to make sure you don't run out of money. So to keep the math simple, if you've worked hard and built up your money and you got $1 million in your 401k, that will pay you a cash flow of $40,000 per year, right? 40 grand a year, 4%, so that you don't run out of money. If you take out too much money, you run out of money when you're 70 years old or 75, and now your kids and grandkids got to take care of you. So that would not be a good position to be in. Now, next thing. The other thing is if I'm getting cash flow of 8%, for example, on my lifetime income, roughly around that. That's one of the ones that we're using on one of my plans. That's what it generates. So if I got $1 million in that, it'll generate $80,000 of cash flow to me for the rest of my life versus 40. Well, that's twice the money. You understand? So the amount of cash flow something generates, same amount of money, same 1 million. One guy's got $1 million, another guy's got $1 million. One guy gets $40,000 cash flow, another guy gets $80,000 cash flow. One guy is taxed, one guy is tax free. Look, it comes down to some of the decisions that you make and what you use your funds for. All right. So the next thing is we talked about you can also leverage life insurance. You can also use an IRA to do this as well as real estate. That's our next line. So we talk about 401k, IRA, Roth Ira, permanent life insurance, real estate. So real estate. Just a second, I'll answer that question in a second. So real estate. Real estate is a physical asset, and if you buy income producing real estate that has people living in there, it could be commercial, it could be residential, multifamily, those people can pay rent every month, and that creates cash flow for you. And you have an asset that is appreciating, and you have tax advantages on that. And you can also purchase in an area called opportunity zones. Opportunity zones are areas that the government wants to incentivize you to invest in, and to give you additional tax advantages for you to put capital into those areas as opportunity zones. So you utilize that. You can invest in opportunity zones. Like, for example, we had a client who he built up his money inside of a life insurance policy. He leveraged life insurance policy to buy multifamily cash flow properties, already cash flowing real estate in an opportunity zone. So he gets tax advantages on the real estate deal he's doing, and he leverages life insurance policy, which continues to compound even though he took a loan against it to buy this property. The money in this policy continues working for him. So the money in this policy is working. He puts it into a real estate deal in an opportunity zone. That cash flows, and this continues to compound. If he dies, the life insurance policy pays off everything tax free, and his family still keeps the real estate. You understand? You can make these things work together. So after real estate. Let me answer this question here in a second. He said, what cash?
Bless you.
What cash flow?
Are you allergic to me?
Cody Holman. I'm never allergic to you, sweetheart. Mm-hmm. Cody Holman says, what cash flow businesses do you like best? I like my business. We have a insurance and investment agency here. We have clients in 47 states. So I like my business. Finance is something I've been interested in my whole life, so I'm glad I get to do that every day. Thank you. Somebody said bless you on here too. Thanks, guys. Another type of business that Chelsea and I like that we're shopping for is assisted living. I like assisted living properties because assisted living, strong cash flow, dude. It's just massive cash flow. It's one of the highest cash flowing types of real estate that you can have because it's tied to providing people a service. People want to make sure they're being taken care of. Then you make sure that's happening, and you got real estate attached to that type of business. So it's a phenomenal type of asset class and a service business.
So Robin has a question: would policies help pay for home care / end of life care, whereas most health would not, like health insurance?
Yes. So some of these we talked about yesterday called living benefits. So for the living benefits, I think we're missing some of the comments here, maybe.
Yeah, it's not showing stuff from the group.
Okay. So living benefits. Oh, probably because we added a group after we started running it. Yeah. So living benefits. Here's a real life example. We had a buddy of ours named Dutch. So Dutch became terminally ill. Terminal ill means you have cancer, you have an illness where now doctor says we can't cure it, we can't do anything about it. So you're just kind of waiting your time out. So you're welcome, Cody. So you're just waiting your time out. So we go hang out with Dutch about once a week. We go to his house, and all that. So having a plan in place, in this case, having a plan in place that would produce income when you're in that stage of life. One of the things he was able to do as a kid was able to take time away from their lives and come and spend time with their dad. So if somebody has terminal cancer and have adult kids, wouldn't that be a great thing to where you can have your children come and spend time with you and not lose revenue because you can have a policy that actually pays. It can pay a lump sum. Like one of my policies will pay me $1 million, up to $1 million if I got diagnosed with cancer upon my diagnosis. So what can I do with that money? I can do anything with it. It's up to me how I use it, all of that. So there's ways you can use it. Don't worry, there still will be some leftover when I kick the bucket so that Chelsea can have that. So will it help for a business restaurant? Yes, it can, depending on you can use anything. You can use the money for any purpose. So we talk about 401k, IRA, Roth, permanent life insurance, real estate. Now, next one is cash flowing assets. There's lots and lots and lots of different cash flowing assets. For example, one thing I like, I don't have the time at this stage to go do it, but I think somebody who's interested in it can go do it. I'm hoping my son gets more into it. He's 16 now, maybe soon he'll want to get into something like this, is something called Turo. Turo is where you have a car and then you rent your car out to people and they go and they rent it through an app, they drive around and they deliver it back, and you don't do a whole lot with it. Just making sure everything's clean and is running and all that. And you make ongoing cash flow from that vehicle. It doesn't have to be your personal vehicle you drive. You can have a vehicle specifically for Turo. So Turo, that's a great one. Vending machines, something people can do, vending machines. I know a guy who did very well vending machines. And then 2020 hit, but now things are coming back. So people are going back out more and more. Airbnb, JM Bill mentioned that. We went to San Diego. We wanted to stay right on the beach. We couldn't find a hotel that was right there for this, what we're looking for and all that. So we did an Airbnb. We'll get to stocks in a second. So cash flowing assets will be things like that. Self-storage. Self-storage, very minimal. The people who are using the self-storage facilities, they're doing the work. They're coming in, loading their stuff in, loading their stuff out. They're actually doing the work. So self-storage was the best performing real estate asset class in 2008. So because even when people were losing their homes,
everybody got kicked out and
they got to put their stuff somewhere. Everybody's got crap they got to put somewhere. So when you have that, then that's ongoing cash flow. Mobile homes. I love mobile home parks. For whatever reason, I like them. It's something I want to get into. Probably in 2022, I want to get more into mobile home parks because I like them. It's affordable housing for people, and it pays really good cash flow. So, and you don't need a massive amount of capital like some other real estate assets. So we like multifamily real estate. All of these are cash flowing assets. You can buy businesses that already cash flow. Things like that. There's lots of different things that you can do as it comes down to cash flow. So next step is business. There's different types of businesses that you can do. Ideally, I like business that has huge upside potential because it has to be worth my time and my effort. So for example, I chose the financial business because there's a lot of money in the financial business. If I'm going to do something, I want it to be worth my effort I'm putting in. I want to have the opportunity to be compensated.
Juice has got to be worth the squeeze.
So in our business, I mean, we've done deals where it's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars on a deal. So now we want to do deals where the deal's worth millions. And so just our revenue piece of it would be that. So that's an industry that's interesting to me. I like that because if you solve some big problems for people, you can benefit a lot from doing that. Next thing, stocks. That's another investment vehicle. There's different types of stocks. This is not meant to be a very deep dive into these different asset classes. It's just kind of meant to make you aware of it. So you can there's different types of stocks. Stocks is basically ownership in a company. So in a publicly traded company, you can have, a smallly held company, but a publicly traded company, you can buy stocks in a company. Like, for example, you can buy stocks in Nike. You can buy stocks in all kinds of different companies. In Facebook, in Tesla, you can buy stocks in there. I remember when Tesla had its IPO when it first came out, all of that. So now it's gone up. It's over $1,000. So understand that you can buy that stocks for growth where it's going up in value, or you can buy stocks for dividends where it pays you cash flow. So they pay you a certain amount every quarter or so for owning shares. So it's like some of the profits go to you as a stockholder, right? So there's different ways to do stocks, different plays you can make. There's people who day trade. There's all kinds of different things you can do with stocks. One major thing is understanding what you're doing. Because a lot of people don't. They just jump in. They have no idea what they're doing. Increasing your knowledge is one of the greatest things you can do. That's one of the best investments you can make is in yourself and your knowledge. So, wouldn't believe the demand for trading cards. I absolutely believe that. Yes, trading cards. I think is a great model for people to understand it and understand the value of it because collectibles. Yeah, somebody puts collectibles on there. Collectibles are very because they appreciate. Because people want to hold on to those things over a period of time.
I had this boyfriend in 4th grade who, for Valentine's Day, he gave me this box of trading cards, like baseball cards.
Yeah.
I think his family owned like a sports memorabilia store, and I thought it was like the lamest present ever. And then we got in a fight and we broke up, and I took the cards and I ripped them up and I put them in a bag and I gave them back to him.
Man,
and he cried. He had tears. And then later I found out that some of those cards were worth a lot of money.
Yeah, she like ripped up money.
This kid was giving her, broke his heart.
This kid was giving her some bags for the future.
He would try to, in 4th grade, he would try to get me to make out under the desk. He would send me a note. Let's make out.
Let's make out.
I didn't even know what make out was.
His boy was moving. He was future oriented.
He was trying to move fast.
He was ahead of his time.
Anytime the lights went off and the class watched a movie, he would try to go under the desk.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't having it.
That boy's seen some things in his life.
Not having it.
Yeah, he's seen some things in his life. That's why he knew
that pressure.
Hey, Uncle Abraham, how you doing? So look, the next one and the last one at the bottom is crypto. So look, crypto is a very, very interesting space to me. And some people get it, some people don't. Some people, a lot of people don't fully understand it yet, of the potential of what it is. But here's the thing that's happening. There's things that's going to be, crypto is digital currencies. I'm just going to keep that part simple. Digital currencies, so things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, other types of tokens and different coins and different things like that. So digital currency. And I want you to understand that these currencies have moved beyond people gambling. And if you don't understand what's happening, you think it's just people gambling on random crap. And you don't understand what's actually going on or the function these things provide. And there's a space within that called DeFi, which is called decentralized finance. Decentralized finance is essentially you've had traditional financial institutions control the movement and flow of money and control wealth, right? Decentralized tools and that particular field is trying to make it easily accessible and break up the control of large institutions to where people can deal and handle with each other, all that kind of stuff. And it's very fascinating to see what people are creating in this space and how people are collaborating and making things a lot simpler and easier for them to do that. And so most people are aware of Bitcoin, and that's when there's thousands of different coins and different things happening. And what you got to understand is where the future is going to be in this space. There's the Staples Center in LA. It's going to be beginning December 25th. It's going to be renamed Crypto.com Center or Crypto.com Arena. So Staples Center, I think it was Staples Center for 25 years. It's going to be named Crypto.com Arena. That's going to be plastered every time LA plays. Understand that these things are not going away. They're only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger because of what's happening in that space. Facebook changes name to Meta to reflect the metaverse, which is basically a digital universe. And there's all kinds of different things that's going to be happening in that space to where you and you're kind of your digital avatar and you and your buddies can actually go to a concert together, and everybody can be front row basically and get such a great view. And all kinds of different ways this will be done. There's other things called NFTs. I won't get into. I won't get into today. But you have to understand that these things are not people goofing around. There's a lot of money in these spaces and a lot of wealth that's being created. Whether you think it's stupid, whether you think it's weird or whatever it is, or you don't understand it, a lot of times people will knock things they don't understand because they don't understand it or it's new to them. But the people who are doing it don't care about your opinion. Whether you think it's gambling, you hate it, you laugh at the people doing it, they don't care. There's people making a lot of money in that space, and they don't give a shit about your opinion if you think it's weird or not. They know that in 10 years from now, so much will be going to that space that institutional companies, big companies that manage hundreds of billions of dollars, will be forced to engage with that space. And so the people who are in there early would then have what they own appreciate drastically in value because of that fact. So Danielle says, your previous topic, insurance retirement, is where I get overwhelmed. I feel insurance 401k is urgent need. We both need insurance and want to grow our money for living benefits, but also currently focusing on making actionable steps to grow positive cash flow. Um, so we're going to talk about one of the things where we're going to give you guys a chance to do is something called a strategy call, where we'll do a call, us or some people on our team here will do a call with you. And why don't you tell them a little bit about that, the strategy call, and what they can do with it? Why don't you tell them about that now and how that would be helpful for somebody like her?
Yes, so you guys can apply for a free strategy call. And basically, we take you through the 6 building blocks that we've been talking about through our wealth building challenge. And we help identify exactly where you are in each building block, and then uncover the exact steps that it will take to get to your financial goals. So, we talk about how everybody is building a financial house and everyone is in a different place, may have different financial goals, situations, needs. So we go through and specifically identify what your needs and risks are in each one of those building blocks, and we help give you specific tools, specific actions to exactly reach your financial goals, and also help create certainty and clear up any confusion and help you to identify what are the key tools and the key services or products that can help you reach your needs and your goals. So we'll give you, I'll give you the link now, but we'll give it to you at the end, and Ring can put it in the chat as well. There it is, 6buildingblocks.com/strategy.
So go there when we're done with the stream. You can
Yeah.
go there and push a strategy call. This is the same process we go through with our high net worth clients and high income individuals. We go through and discuss these areas. The difference is people are just at different financial levels. These 6 areas apply to all of us. If people just like cash flow applies to everybody, it applies to a business, it applies to a household. Now, some companies have more cash flow than others. Some households have more cash flow than others. That's just the difference. But cash flow is still important to both of those households. So understanding that will be helpful for you. And so where those things are specific to your situation, because you can only do so much with information that's giving in a general setting, but then you have to apply that information to your specific situation.
Ooh, now I'm sneezing.
Yeah. So okay, we talked about different vehicles: 401k, IRA, Roth IRA, permanent life insurance, real estate, cash flow and assets, businesses, stocks, crypto. And so look, you can even leverage life insurance to buy crypto. And there's so many different things that you can do in that space on how you can set yourself up to accelerate your wealth and then leverage that to buy income producing assets like real estate or businesses that cash flow. That goes to our next point that says on that line, the purpose of any retirement account is to produce cash flow that lasts. It comes down to cash flow. Cash flow is how you run your life, right? People don't realize when you get your paycheck, that's cash flow coming to you. You have to be able to generate that cash flow that you need to run your life the way you want, the ideal life. Remember, in the beginning of the challenge, we talk about your ideal life and what would it cost for you to run what Well, are you giving
Do
that
you
to
need
me?
some of this?
No, why?
Okay.
Why? So what you need to run your ideal life and how that should go. Okay. So we talk about how much you need to have in reserves. All of that is fueled by your cash flow. So the purpose of any retirement account is not to look pretty, is not to have $1 million in a retirement account. Great, got $1 million. So what? How much cash flow is it going to produce? You're not going to spend all $1 million on day one anyway. So how much cash flow is it going to produce? That's the key. If I leverage, store monies out of my life insurance policy and I leverage it to buy real estate, how much cash flow is that real estate going to produce? Right? That's how I'm looking at stuff. You got to look at building up your capital. You got to store your capital somewhere and then use it to buy income producing assets. That's because of the second line. The definition of financial freedom is, that's the next line there. Definition of financial freedom is passive income that exceeds my expenses. Passive income that exceeds my expenses. So here's how this will work. I'm working, I'm building a business, I'm spending my time actively doing something. I'm creating income. That's called active income. I have to use less than what I'm making. If I consume everything, I have no what's called surplus. I have no surplus. If I have no surplus, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. All right, that's what's happening. The person has no surplus. My active income needs to be high enough. I need to get that high enough that I can live the way I want to live and then have surplus. I want to pay myself first. I want to push my surplus into a vehicle that I store. And then I want to leverage, I want to use my surplus to buy income producing assets. Income producing assets cash flow to me without me having to go out and actively earn it. So I store my capital, I buy real estate, the real estate pays me cash flow that comes to me without me having to actively go out and earn it. All right. So you can have passive income in different things, but the idea is to convert your passive income, convert your active income into passive income, right? In the meantime, while you're building your money up, you have to store the money somewhere and then use it for cash flow. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have sufficient cash flow, you cannot operate on this planet. You need cash flow. You need money flowing to you so that you can flow out for the things you want. That's just how it is. So if you have too little money flowing to you, then it doesn't. Then you're trapped. You get trapped in the cycle. Your first thing would be to do is to figure out how you can get some money. And the way you can get some money is we talked about the conditions of exchange. Are you putting yourself in a position where you can exchange in abundance with people that they're willing to pay you for stuff? Look, here's an example. Today, one of our clients called us because somebody he knows was doing a deal, a financial deal in our space. And he's like, hey, you need to talk to Martin and Chelsea. So the guy comes and talks to us, and I'm like, hey, we can set things up for you a little bit better than the way it's being set up now, right? So because we exchanged in abundance with that client, he was willing to stop his friend from doing a deal somewhere else and say, you need to talk to Martin and Chelsea about this. And then we showing him how we can help them set up a better structure for that particular scenario. That's why it's important to exchange in abundance. When you outflow that way to people, they're going to send you inflow back. They're going to send that's going to come back to you. So that's why anything you do is extremely important.
All right. So we are going to go over the challenge for today, and then we're going to announce the $100 winner from yesterday's challenge.
Yes.
Is that okay, or is there anything else you wanted to cover?
Well, I wanted to answer this question really quick.
Okay.
So, what if you don't have any money like me? All right, that was Maggie Foster's question. What if you don't have any money like me? If you don't have any money, you have to start by figuring out how do you get some money. So you got to look at if you've got things you can sell, you got to try to sell that. Sell stuff that you don't, if you have stuff that you don't need. You also got to think about abundance. If you're starting out and don't have any money, you got to figure out, get a job. You got to figure out how to get a job, get an income, work for somebody, go intern somewhere and say, look, if I intern and do a good job for you for a week for free, will you hire me and pay me to continue working here? All of that, you got to do that. And the thing is, you can't operate on hope. Hope don't pay the bills. You're never going to pay your bills with hope. All right. You can't call the phone company and say, look, I hope this works out. No, you got to take that. And sometimes I may say that to people because that's how I look at it for myself. I got to go produce. If you can't produce, you can't get ahead. Okay. So that's my message is you got to step beyond hope into action. If you don't take action, hope can't save your life. And that's my viewpoint on life.
All right, so today's challenge, it's on your last page of your workbook, and it is to post in the group your ideal scene for wealth building. So on the first day, you talked about your ideal scene for cash flow. Now you're talking about your ideal scene for wealth building. What kind of wealth do you want to create, and what do you want to be able to do with it?
What kind of assets you want to have, all that. Just dream, whatever dream you have, put that in there. It looks like this, it looks like that. You know, I was living this way. I want to have this much income. I want to be invested in these assets. I want to have that, you know, all of that. And people validate those things.
Okay. You can share what wealth building strategies you're using or would like to use, and what risks do you face. Also, you can apply for a strategy call, and tomorrow we're going to pick another $100 winner.
No,
out.
Tomorrow's.
I know, but for the strategy call.
Oh, okay.
Or are we going to pick the grand prize out of that?
Yeah, we're going to pick the grand prize out of somebody.
Okay, so tomorrow it will be a $500 grand prize winner we're going to pick. Okay, but only request a strategy call if you actually are interested in going through your 6 building blocks and coming up with a plan for your financial house to strengthen it, make it unbreakable, unshakable, and to live the life you truly want to live. So that's your challenge for today. We'll post it in the group also. And we're going to announce today's $100 winner from the challenge yesterday, which was request a life insurance quote. And we are going to announce. Are we ready to announce?
Yes.
Okay. Tonight's $100 winner is Jamie Lynn Hoover. Congratulations, Jamie. All right. So after, you can message us and we will get that cash money to you. And for anyone that wants to apply, and congratulations, everyone. Congratulate Jamie Lynn. And if you would like to apply for a strategy call, you can go to 6buildingblocks.com/strategy. And we will see you tomorrow.
So we'll be back tomorrow for last day of our
7 p.m.
of our wealth building challenge. So we're going live at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We are going to, at the end of that, we're going to announce our $500 winner, like Chelsea said. And make sure to complete the homework. If you still want to request a life insurance quote, go to 6buildingblocks.com/quote. If you want a strategy call, go to 6buildingblocks.com/strategy, which is your homework for tonight. So, peace out.
Bye.